Man City have now completed the signing of goalkeeper Gianluigi Donnarumma from PSG. The Italy international has signed a 5-year deal, and he arrives at the Etihad after Ederson was allowed to leave and join Fenerbahce on a permanent deal. Donnarumma will now, of course, compete with fellow new signing James Trafford for the number one jersey at Man City. Now, Stephen, we've spoken a little bit about Donnarumma already, haven't we, in the last couple of weeks? Now that the deal is done, it's official. What are your thoughts on this transfer? It's been one that's been met with mixed reviews, I think, from City fans and the wider football community. What do you make of this deal?
We're spoiled football fans. I've gone around a billion times on this, and I suspect you'll probably feel the same as well, Ollie. I've I've focused so much on the negatives that I've gone full circle and gone. We've signed Gianluigi Donnarumma. He has the best shot stopping percentage of any keeper in Europe's top five leagues over the past 5 years, and that's the crux of it. Gianluigi Donnarumma is a remarkable goalkeeper, a world class goalkeeper who's just achieved immortality at PSG and already broken English hearts in the Euros and so on. He's achieved so much at 26 years old, and one that Guardiola wants. I know that's sort of true. I've seen articles being dug up from City fans from years ago where we were linked to him, and we all laughed at it at the time. But it turns out Donnarumma is actually one of Guardiola's favourites. And look, I Edison is a one of a one kind of player. There is no one like Edison. Edison, his ability with the ball at his feet is so special that there's an argument that you can't recreate that. And even James Trafford, a player that I adore, who've watched years for the academy, who's good with the ball at his feet, he's still not Edison. Like, and I think there is a concession to be made even with Trafford, who's good. He can play passes. A concession to how we play that's necessary because Edison is so freakishly talented that way. You've got a midfielder level talent in goal. Like I'm not even exaggerating. The guy can pass better than most Premier League midfielders, Edison, in terms of making 20, 30-yard passes and so on. So, bearing that in mind, I do wonder if there's a shift here from Manchester City, and it's an intentional one. If you can't play with the same exact laser point precision from your passing from your goalkeeper, well, why not then just focus on the best shot stopper, arguably, in the world instead? A man with so much experience and a man with presence. I don't want to use a lazy football Twitter term, but aura. And there is an awful lot of that. You look at this City side right now, one in flux, so much change all over. It's almost change almost feels necessary and a necessity for this City side given the churn of players. You look at that defence, in front of James Trafford, another young player for what it's worth the other day, Nori, Kusanov, Nunes. They're all new to this back line. I don't know how long they'll stay there, but they are new to it. As much as I really rate James Trafford, I can only imagine these lads would probably feel a lot more secure with Donnarumma behind him because Donnarumma is Donnarumma. There is an indisputable presence that comes from having a man of that stature behind you, both metaphorically and physically. A remarkable goalkeeper. There is going to be issues of how we build up. I can't deny that. Guardiola does, you know, um, pass the ball out from the back. We've seen PSG, the way they solved it, with the likes of Vitinha dropping deep to get the ball off the keeper. Maybe that's the way. Maybe we go a bit more direct. Maybe you lean on Nico Gonzalez and Rodri to win the second balls in midfield. I don't know. But all this is Guardiola's problem. Guardiola clearly wanted him. And I've seen reports being dug up back from 2017 when he was only 18 years old that Pep wanted him instead of Edison at the time. But that didn't happen, so we got Edison. Pep clearly rates him. And if Pep Guardiola rates Donnarumma, and Donnarumma is rated by everyone, and he's one of the best goalkeepers in the world, you put two and two together and make four instead of seven, which I think we're trying to do as City fans. And the concerns are fair, I get it. But I think we're overthinking it to an extent. And we've just signed one of the best goalkeepers in the world for 25 million. Around after selling Edison for around 10, for around 15 million net for a new goalkeeper, and it's Donnarumma. I need to stop moaning and worrying about the style too much and maybe just accept that Guardiola might have a plan for this. And it didn't stop PSG winning the treble last year. So there are solutions possible. And Donnarumma in the biggest moments is a freak. He's an absolute absurd talent. There are concerns, yeah, obviously, but maybe I'm overthinking this, and that's where my head's gone round. And sometimes I think we all spend so much time online reading opinions and reading opinions on stats on Sportsmo and things like that, rightfully so. But maybe I can get bogged down in the weeds a little bit. Donnarumma is just a remarkable goalkeeper, and that is the bottom line. When you cut out all the noise and you cut out everything else about playing style and so on, is Donnarumma a world class goalkeeper? The answer is unequivocally yes. So I've accepted that I need to stop worrying about it and let Pep do his thing and Donnarumma do his thing.
Yeah, exactly so. And do you think at all that Donnarumma has almost a point to prove at City, considering all this sort of debate about whether he's good with the ball at his feet, or will he be as confident as ever, a bit like Trafford in a way, that he will be able to adapt to Guardiola's demands and adapt to that philosophy?
If I was Donnarumma, I'd not be scared of anything. I mean, look at him, man. He's a man mountain of a player, and what he's achieved. He's already won the Ashen Award. He's won the Euros. He's won the treble. Donnarumma is not scared of anything. You don't get as far as you have in a position as insane as a goalkeeper. You have to be a bit mad to play goalkeeper anyway. It's a cliche, but it's true because it's not. It's just a mad position. You don't get that far without having conviction anyway. So Donnarumma, he's not. He won't be scared of this. I don't feel he'll feel like he has anything to prove. I I think there'll be an arrogance and a comfortability that comes with his success that City will need. That Haaland apparently. So I've seen like apparently Haaland was liking all his posts and all that kind of stuff. Haaland wants him. Haaland wants winners. Rodri, I think Rodri will be happy to see a higher Donnarumma come in. These are kindred spirits, these guys. These are winners. So I don't think he'll feel it. I don't think he cares about all that stuff. Ultimately, the most noise will come from people online who are analysts and fans like myself who will go, "Oh, what's his past percentage completion?" It's a very interesting point. But Donnarumma doesn't care. Donnarumma will look at his trophy room. Don't look at the fact that Guardiola wants him and the fact that he deserves to be there, and he does. And he's the Italian captain as a goalkeeper at 26 years old. So, look, yes, there are questions. He won't care about him. He shouldn't care about him either. He's too good to worry about that.
Yeah, and I personally think City are signing a world-class goalkeeper. There was one interesting stat that I saw recently. It said that Donnarumma has the best save percentage of any goalkeeper with over 300 saves made in Europe's top five leagues since his League One debut for PSG in September 2021, and it's an impressive 74.94%. So that backs up the views of many who think that he is one of, if not the best shot stoppers in the world, and ultimately keeping the ball out of the back of the net is what goalkeepers will be judged on most. It's a priority for goalkeepers, and Donnarumma is arguably better than that at Ederson. Yes, he may not be the greatest with the ball at his feet, but he's not completely useless. There are clips out there of him online looking quite assured with the ball at his feet. It's just that he's not at that same level as Ederson, and no one's going to come in and be good as Ederson. And in that regard,
And
no
Trafford's
one's
there
going.
as well still.
Yeah,
You know, if it's somehow an unmitigated disaster, you just played the lad who wants to be there. He's probably spent months learning from the best shot stopper in the world. So,
yeah.
and even if you don't think he's the best shot stopper in the world, he's top five, obviously. You know, like he's clearly that good. And yeah, I don't really see a scenario where Donnarumma fails in the way that you'd expect. Because, I mean, even if City struggle and Donnarumma's part of it, he probably spells the end for Pep. But then the next manager, you've got him. The next manager will get some out of Donnarumma. He's too good not to be a success at some point for City. Even if it's an adaptation problem, it probably is bad news for Pep, maybe, which would be awful. But and I don't even want to go there. The point I'm making, he's going to be here after that, and someone is going to get a lot out of Donnarumma because Donnarumma is too talented not to. So, and once again, the worst case scenario, it doesn't work. Well, we just played that elite level young goalkeeper who loves City, who wants to be here. He's already shown that he could be allowed. Two great goalkeepers is better than none. Two great goalkeepers is better than one as well. So yeah, I'm happy about it.
Yeah, and of course now the big debate for Guardiola is who starts between Donnarumma and Trafford. Do you expect Donnarumma to come in now and sort of take that number one spot for the time being?
Yeah, um, yeah, I mean you have to really, don't you? Like you sort of have to play. You can't sign Donnarumma. The only thing is it's a derby, and I don't like that.
Yeah, his debut
Um,
could be against Man United
yeah,
in the
like
Premier.
Claudio Bravo vibes. You know, his debut was a derby, and I turned 40 4 days earlier, so I'm getting old now, and like it's like literally. Do not ruin my birthday weekend, City. So that is like I would have got back from holiday, ready for the derby, and it'd be Donnarumma's birthday. And look, I think you sort of have to sign. I think at home at the Etihad, big game. This is why look at that run of games. You know, United at home, Napoli at home, then Arsenal away. That is why you signed Donnarumma. It's those games. You don't sign him for Burnley at home for its worth. Maybe you play Trafford in that one. There you go. You can play there, but you don't sign him for that. You sign Donnarumma for those big moments because he is a man who somehow gets even bigger than he is in moments like that. Ask Arsenal or Aston Villa fans or whoever how they feel about him, and that says it all. So yeah, I mean you have to. And at that point, you would have got back for the international break. It's 2 weeks away. Yeah, you have to play him.